wage $10 million in 1982,
Mike,
was it?
You're going to make me make a comeback, so be quiet. I don't want to talk about it. Who can I fight? George Forman. We're the only one. If George Forman came back right now, me and him could make a lot of. We cannot do it, but George is too stubborn thinking about that grill, man. That grill, all you got to do is tilt the pan and the grease run right off of it, Talking about knock off the grease. You don't need no grease. Just tilt the pan. You got to buy that George Forman grill. No, I ain't going to buy your George Forman grill. We should fight, George, and get that 150, 60, 70, 80 $80 million, and we can live happy forever. We can do that, George. All you got to do is call this old man named Larry Holmes, even though you're 1 year older than me, and we can sign the papers and we go into the knockout bag.
Well, I was with you in New York with George when that fight was a half an inch from taking place. You actually signed the contract. Yeah. We had the press conference in New York, and the promoter couldn't come up with the last payment.
Don King messed that up, but one day he didn't have the money in the bank saying that we get the money, and that's what messed that up.
And George pulled right out.
George pulled right out. I would have had the pleasure of punching him in the face. Because he's a hypocrite. He ain't really what people think he is. He might be a nice guy for a second or two, but say something that he don't like, he goes off. George is short temper. He ain't like me, a nice guy. Hello, how you doing? George is short temper, man. You know what I mean? So you know what? I would like to fight George because everybody going to say, what about George? They always say, what about George?
You were in training for that fight. You did training for that fight.
Did. Even though they gave me $500,000 for not fighting, they gave George $1.5 million for not fighting.
That wasn't bad, $500,000 for not even stepping in the ring.
I would have had the pleasure of knocking him out. That's
and I think he knew that. That's why when that payment, that final payment was due on contract 30 days before, he pulled right out. So, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Pull right out on me.
Even today, you'd probably make $20, $30 million a piece on that one.
No, don't sell me short. I'm not going to let Mayweather make more than me. If
all
we
right,
get
$100 million. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Now we're talking.
We'll call Don King after the show tonight. And we'll call Don King and see if he can put that together.
Yeah, I heard we'll do it for Christmas because people want Christmas presents.
Well, golf has the senior league and bowling has the senior league.
Let's go into the senior stuff because that's out of my mind.
Okay.
I'm sure you're
all right. Will we see Mayweather for $150 million? Wow.
Think about it.
A lot of presents. A lot of presents.
Think about it.
That's enough for many, many Christmases, isn't it?
That ain't bad to get knocked out. You can get knocked out for $100 million.
Yeah, well, whatever happens, you can't lose at $150 million. All right. The